Okay, learning target 6. This is learning target 6. This is about solving using substitution. We've talked a lot about how substitution means the same thing as replacing something. So that should give you a little bit of a hint. So when you see y equals and y equals, you know that you can take what y equals and you can replace it for the y in the other one, which is exactly what you're supposed to do for your first step. You're supposed to take what y equals, -8, and replace it for the y in the first equation. So that means I'm going to rewrite this first equation exactly as it is, except for instead of y, I'm going to write -8. So I'm going to write -8 equals 3x plus 1. Now I need to go through and solve it. You need to be really careful that you keep this equal sign where it's supposed to be. I see a lot of people making mistakes with this because they're not being consistent. So what you need to do is you need to work backwards from the x. This says 3 times x plus 1. So the first thing you need to undo is the addition or subtraction. So I need this minus 1. I do it once on each side of the equal sign. Keep this line down here if this helps you to figure out what you got to do. Just once on each side of the equal sign. I'm going to subtract 1. That means that from this side, this will no longer be here. All I'll have left is 3x. Equal sign stays right on the line. I need to do -8 minus 1. Think of this as -8 plus another -1. That will give me -9. That means 3 times my x equals -9. So the last thing that I need to do is divide by the 3 to get rid of this coefficient. So I'll be left with x equals -9 divided by 3 is -3. A common mistake was to not put the answer in XY form. I even remind you right up here, be sure to give your final answer in XY form. You need to have it as a coordinate. X is -3, Y is -8, right as it is up here. Okay? This problem might look a little different than the one that you did in class, depending on which class you were in. I'm going to go through this problem right here for extra help. Same thing again. I'm going to replace the y up here with what y is in the second equation. That means I'm going to take -3x instead of y. Then I'm going to rewrite the rest of this exactly as it is, equals -2x plus 4. Once again, be really careful to keep this equal sign right here. Okay, now I've got a x term on each side, a term with x in it on each side. I need to get these x's together. So I'm going to do the opposite just like we do here to get it off of this side. So I'm going to take the -2x and I'm going to add 2x to each side so that it's gone over here. And I will get -3x plus a positive 2x, that's -1x equals 4. Same thing as before, I need to get rid of this coefficient of x. This means -1 times x. So I need to divide by -1. That way I'll get that x equals -4. Because 4 divided by -1 is -4. Now I'm not done yet this time. I know my x is -4. Now I need to come back up here to what we used when y equals something. So we used y equals -3x. That's different than y equals -8. This is an equation for y. So that means that when I have an x, for the y, I have to take -3 times whatever the x is, times the -4. So I need to take this x and replace it back up here again into the x to find my y. So y equals -3 times -4 for x, and that gives me a positive 12 for my y over here. Okay, got one for you to try. Y equals 3x plus 4, y equals -5x. You're going to use the substitution or replacement method to solve this system. Make sure you write your answer as an xy. Please bring this answer up to me when you are finished.